coming up on Nittany Game Week.
None of us, players especially, will ever forget this experience. So it was incredible, and Penn State is incredible.
Almost 75,000 fans show up to root on PSU in the first ever men's outdoor hockey game. We recap an unforgettable and historic event.
I'd still be at Little Caesars if it wasn't for Coach Campbell, and I don't forget that.
First chance to meet the new football coaching staff, how they're settling into life in Happy Valley. And the winter weekend showcases a handful of other sports, which athletes break program records on the indoor track. This is Nittany Game Week. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Nittany Game Week. I'm Todd Sadowski alongside Ryan Yee. I know I'm still layering up after a frigid few days outdoors. The puck drops for the first time ever in West Shore home field at Beaver Stadium.
Yeah, Penn State's ice games take center stage and are a huge winter part of the weekend of home games showcasing Penn State sports.
Now, we stop by men's volleyball in Rec Hall as they take on a top 3 opponent, Hawaii, and a couple of program records fall during the indoor track and field meet. But we begin with an unfortunate incident that takes place a few hours after the men's game on Saturday, and it involves freshman Gavin McKenna. This is video of McKenna, number 72, in the outdoor game on Saturday afternoon. His line starts the game, he scores a goal and has 2 assists for the Nittany Lions, but later that night, he went out with family and friends. According to court documents, McKenna allegedly punched a man twice in the face outside a parking garage on South Pew Street around 8:45 Saturday night. Witnesses told investigators the incident followed an exchange of words, and McKenna was seen leaving Doggy's Pub moments before. Initially, McKenna was charged with felony aggravated assault. After reviewing the video evidence, the Center County District Attorney's Office decided to drop the felony charge against McKenna on Friday afternoon. They determined he did not act with intent to cause serious injury or reckless indifference to human life, the legal standard required for the aggravated assault charge. McKenna still faces misdemeanor simple assault and 2 summary offenses, harassment and disorderly conduct. He has a preliminary hearing scheduled for February 11th. Penn State Athletics released a brief statement which reads, "We are aware that charges have been filed. However, as this is an ongoing legal matter, we will not have any further comment."
Yeah, and as for the men's outdoor game itself, nearly 75,000 hockey fans bundle up to watch the blue and white skate at top speed under blue skies in our opening drive.
First of its kind game at Penn State, the men's hockey team won't soon forget. For the first time ever, Beaver Stadium turns into Hockey Valley, a chance to play in front of a roaring Nittany Lions crowd of over 74,000, the most ever in program history.
It's going to be a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. We never know if they're going to be back. We're going to soak it all in. We're going to take so many pictures. We're just going to enjoy every minute of it.
This is the coolest experience ever, man. It's like a winter classic here in Happy Valley. I'm going to be so loud. You're going to hear me from all the way over here. The refs hate to see me coming.
The players soak in an electric atmosphere.
Just seeing that whole stadium packed, skating out to that blue line, it was the coolest moment ever.
For me, it was the starting lineup. Skating out to the blue line, hearing your name called. That's something I will never forget, and I'm truly grateful for that opportunity.
One question for you. Are you ready? Let's pen, skate, hockey!
Then, puck drop. And 1 period later, a goal the entire crowd is waiting for.
Those are the times you just look around and, hey, Sturtsy, look at this. This is incredible. It's incredible. It was, I won't ever forget it.
A historic afternoon that exceeds all expectation.
It's hard to imagine in your mind something like that until you see it. It truly is. It was bigger and more vast than I imagined. It was just so incredible to be in the middle of that and look around everywhere and just see people packed, and it was awesome. I mean, I love going to football games. It's amazing. I just never thought that I would be able to be on a hockey rink in that kind of atmosphere. It exceeded what I had in my mind.
Feeling the support from both fans and fellow Nittany Lions.
I think I saw every sport out there cheering for us, and that just goes to show how tight this Penn State community is and how tight all our athletes are. I mean, we see each other every day at the dining hall. And just to see them have our backs, it really meant the world to us.
Support that reinforces just how special Hockey Valley, either at Pegula Ice Arena or in this case, down the road at Beaver Stadium, really is.
There's nothing like Beaver Stadium. Like, I know that now. That was the coolest environment I will ever play in my life. No matter if I make the NHL or not, that was the coolest thing I've ever seen, ever witnessed. And I just couldn't be prouder to be a Penn Stater and get that opportunity.
I mean, just so many cool moments to remember from that day, Todd. You and I were both there, and it was just absolutely electric.
Well, great job on the recap. Such sincere appreciation from Coach Godowski and the players afterwards. Of course, they wanted to send fans home tasting victory overtime necessary in the first men's outdoor game. The Nittany Lions take the ice trying to gain a split against Michigan State for the weekend after a loss in Pegula Arena to the Spartans the night before. Ryan already shows us the first goal for PSU from Aiden Fink. So here's the second. It comes from McKenna in front, and it ties the game at 2 apiece in the second period. Now, neither team ever leads by more than 1 goal in this contest. The top line is on fire for PSU. So off the faceoff, McKenna gathers the puck in the corner, spots Fink in front, and he is an elite goal scorer. He finishes. It gives the blue and white their first lead of the game. It's 3-2 with only a few minutes left in the second. We move to the final period. Shea Van Olm on the breakaway beats the goalie glove side and then proceeds with an epic celebration slide across the ice. The place is jumping as PSU is back in front 4-3. But Michigan State is ranked second coming in for a reason. They force overtime at 4-4. And then the extra session, Charlie Stramel goes top corner, ends the game, and completes his hat trick. A disappointing end to a dynamic day of hockey in the stadium.
This was a very emotional weekend with a lot going on, and I think that in most part we responded well, but we have to learn both. We have things to learn to work on both systematically and emotionally. And yeah, we'll use these 2 weeks to our advantage for sure.
The PSU is now 18-8 overall, 10-6 in the conference. They have the weekend off before they travel to Ann Arbor to face top-ranked Michigan.
Now, the women's hockey team kicked off their outdoor festivities with their game against Robert Morris the day before. And as Lauren Bradford tells us, it surely set the scene for the special weekend.
Hockey Valley!
PSU women's ice hockey breaks in the outdoor rink on Friday, playing in the first ever NCAA ice hockey game inside Beaver Stadium.
I thought it was unreal. I thought that this was like a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, and everyone, like the staff that put it together, did a phenomenal job, and all the ice maintenance they had to do during the game, phenomenal. Like, we couldn't have done it without everyone here at Penn State, but it was really cool and definitely a dream come true for sure.
The game had its challenges, with stoppages throughout play caused by less than ideal ice conditions.
I'm not a scientist, but I believe the sun didn't help like those corners in that end. Right off the bat, Maya went in there and a chunk of the ice came out.
That affected our game. We just kind of had to simplify our game a little bit more. Usually we can be a little prettier with our plays, but we just had to simplify it a bit.
But the weather and freezing temps didn't stop some faithful fans from bundling up and coming out to support the team.
I'm a big hockey fan. This is sort of like a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, outside hockey game. It seemed pretty interesting, so I want to come out here.
We're making history today. We're Penn State fans. He's born and raised in Penn State. Girls learned to play hockey thanks to the women's hockey team, and so here we are supporting.
And they were rewarded with a 3-0 Nittany Lions win.
We've seen football games here. This is better than the football game, girls?
Yeah, it's way better.
A game to remember for all involved.
Where does this game kind of rank?
Number 1, for sure. Probably number 1, for sure.
Lauren Bradford for Nittany Game Week.
Coming up, we get the latest scoop on some Penn State football. An update from new head coach Matt Campbell. Plus, meet his staff will help him lead the Nittany Lions this season. More Nittany Game Week is on the way.
The opening drive is sponsored by R&R Express. Every shipment moved contributes to autism research and inclusion through the Excel Foundation. Learn more at wearerr.com. Nittany Game Week is brought to you by West Shore Home, official partner of Penn State football.
Welcome back to Nittany Game Week. Penn State introduced new head football coach Matt Campbell's supporting staff earlier this week. Lauren Bradford was in State College to see how the assistant coaches are adjusting to life in Happy Valley.
A new era of Penn State football has arrived, with the 2026 coaching staff now in place.
This is a transformational journey. Taking a young man from young man to man is still critical in college football. And making sure that we had a coaching staff that's aligned and unified to those values and to those goals. And so those are really what we've been doing here over the last 2 months.
Campbell will have some familiar faces on his staff, with 5 coaches following him from Iowa State.
I've been with him for the last 12 years. He's got offered every opportunity to go anywhere. And if he called me and told me he was going back to Mount Union, I would have went with him to Mount Union. What that guy has done for me in my life, I'd still be at Little Caesars if it wasn't for Coach Campbell, and I don't forget that.
Returning Penn State assistants are embracing the change, ready to get to work.
We're a blended family. His core values, Coach Campbell's core values, align with how we are here at Penn State. He's a perfect fit.
Before they can get to business here at Beaver Stadium, there are still plenty of behind-the-scenes questions to answer for the families relocating to Happy Valley.
It's a family decision for me. I want to be in an environment where, it makes sense for my children, the school they go to, and, the leadership in terms of the head coach, in terms of the staff.
The newcomers are turning to returning coaches Terry Smith and special teams coordinator Justin Lustig for help with even the simplest of questions.
School systems, housing for sure. I created my favorite list of food in State College that I've been handing out.
And as the staff builds their own community, they say State College has made the transition easy.
They've welcomed us in with open arms. Everywhere we go, people are trying to help us. People truly, truly care about Penn State and football, so that's been awesome to see.
Well, thank you, Lauren. Welcome to Pennsylvania to the new coaches. Of course, outdoor hockey is just part of a showcase of sports for winter weekend. On the mat, the wrestling team takes care of business, as usual, against Nebraska in a dual meet. On the track, a couple of program records were set at the indoor meet. Nittany Lions host their Penn State National Open track and field meet, and the team dominates the 800-meter races. Haley Kitching breaks her own program record and posts the 7th fastest time in NCAA history. Just misses out on a sub-2-minute 800. Penn State freshman Bo Ritchie comes in second. Her efforts land her Big Ten Freshman of the Week honors. On the men's side, Handel Robin sets a program record. He runs the 2nd fastest race in NCAA history with a 1:44 to speed past the competition. And we move over to Rec Hall to check out men's volleyball head coach Mark Pavlik and his team. 32nd and final year for Coach Pav as the head coach. He retires at the end of the season. First set action, courtside angle. This is a volleyball give and go. Sophomore Sean Harvey to setter Jackson Herr. Harvey glides in for the kill. That's the way you draw it up. Nittany Lions hang close with the Rainbow Warriors. We move topside for the rest of the set. And after the dig, look at the back pass from Michael Schwab to Matt Luoma. The deficit is just 1 point. It's 2019 Hawaii. And you wonder if maybe the visitors are a little jet lagged. It's a long flight. Perhaps. No. They lock in to complete the victory. Kill from the middle. Rainbow Warriors take both weekend matches. Penn State playing a home-and-home series with St. Francis this weekend. Up next, our Impact interview. You may say to yourself, how in the world did they pull off an entire weekend of outdoor hockey? Well, we talk with Herb Combs from PSU's facilities team to find out why he says it's one of the most challenging things he's ever done in his career. Nittany Game Week returns after this.
Impact Interview is sponsored by the Pocono Mountains, where small-town charm meets big adventures. Book your trip today by visiting PoconoMountains.com.
Back on Nittany Game Week, and hockey is one of the ultimate team sports. No one would have taken the ice in Hockey Valley without a team effort from the facilities and management department. Public skate, high school, women's and men's Division I, along with an alumni game. That as a jam-packed schedule. This week's Impact interview is with Associate AD Herb Combs to find out how he and his staff were able to pull off such an ambitious assignment. Can you believe what you guys were able to do? You have a preconceived notion, Herb, of what it's going to be like. How did it match what you thought the weekend was going to be like?
Yeah, man, I exceeded expectations far and wide, quite honestly. I mean, Mother Nature certainly threw us a curveball, and, you know, good preparedness leads to success. It's not necessarily luck, right? You create your own fate, and, you know, we worked hard as a ICA event and ops team to create scenarios to be able to execute. Obviously, Mother Nature had a different game plan for us, and fortunately, our partners at OPP and some of our community partnerships allowed us to be able to react to the snow, and our partnership with ice rink events, we were able to kind of keep the ice consistent and be able to make the weekend happen. But it didn't go without a lot of sleepless nights, a lot of effort from a lot of people, and, you know, just a lot of collaboration to make it an overall success.
Did you get a chance to stop and look around on Saturday for 75,000 people that were in the building and enjoying and seeing what was actually happening? You had an overtime game, so the drama was out on the ice as well.
Yeah, it definitely took time to embrace it. You know, my family was here, which is a big part of it. You know, you spend this much time here, you want them to be a part of it. So I got to spend a little bit of time with them throughout the first and second period, and then was able to hop down ice side for the last 10 minutes of regulation and overtime just to kind of really truly embrace it. Like I said, my kids play hockey, so it's kind of a cool full circle moment for it all to kind of come together and actually take it all in, right? We talk about our staff, you know, when we host these big events, to take 10 minutes to just realize what you're a part of, because it is really big, right? I mean, this institution where we're located, the size of our venue, you're putting on the largest event in this world at times.
You know, Coach Godowski wasn't the only one to express sincere appreciation. How many people did you hear from as the event was going on, and have you heard from since that were able to pull off the weekend and the opportunities that you were able to present to the players, be it the women's players, the men's players, or just anyone that even had a chance to be on the ice for a public skate?
Yeah, I think, man, the support and the praise has been countless, right? I wouldn't be able to even tell you how many, but to be able to go in to the men's locker room post-game and those guys give you a standing ovation for your efforts, you know, that meant a lot.
Anytime it's an event, you mentioned as a groundskeeper, it could be a golf event, it could be a charity fundraiser, it could be anything. There's always lessons learned from the first time, what worked and what were the lessons learned.
Yeah, I think we always have after actions, right? Like I said, when you're as big a venue as that we are in a rural community, you're always trying to improve, right? You're never going to be perfect. I think for us in this particular scenario was, what's the building going to allow us to do, right? Part of the reason that we've been hesitant to have winter events is the winterization of the building. Mother Nature really tested the mechanicals. We had a fire suppression leak Wednesday that flooded the south tunnel. We had our club freeze up from the bathrooms and the concession stands. So we were fighting a lot behind the scenes from the building, right? Everybody looks at the parking lot and the ice surface, but we were fighting a lot to just keep the building, you know, sustainable for 70,000+ fans. And I think that's probably where we'll take the most on. Hey, where are our points of weakness and what do we need to do as we move forward with future CFP games in December and, you know, whatever this grand renovation brings us.
I would be remiss if I didn't say what is next. You know, practically, what do you think are some of the things that could potentially be brought here and a timeline potentially?
I think professionally, sky's the limit, right? Our team is prepared to answer the call, right? I mean, whether it's a dirt event, whether it's more country music festivals, or whether it's just more concerts, I think the team is at the ready. I think the renovation will open more opportunities to, you know, what you're seeing at some of these professional venues in promoters, you know, choosing a different destination. So professionally, we're ready for whatever we're asked to do. Personally, going to take a little bit of time to kind of refresh. That was definitely the biggest challenge in my professional career to make that a reality. So spend some time with my family and kind of just recharge for, you know, our big spring season and getting ready for Coach Campbell and what 2026 means for this department as we move forward.
Really appreciate Herb taking the time to speak with us after an exhausting stretch. Make sure you go to NittanyGameWeek.com for all of our Impact interviews along with other web exclusive content. Don't go anywhere. Still to come, the men's basketball team caps off winter weekend with a buzzer beater against Minnesota in the BJC. We're heading into the final minutes on Nittany Game Week.
Nittany Game Week is brought to you by West Shore Home, official partner of Penn State football.
The Penn State men's basketball team winless in conference play until this. One of the biggest recruits in program history, freshman Caden Mingo, sinks the nifty layup in the dwindling seconds, enough for Penn State to take it 77-75 against Minnesota and earn that first Big Ten win they have long been waiting for this season. We now wrap up the show like we always do. Let's shout out some standout Penn State athletes on our Dean's List. We first start off with some softball. We got 3 names to highlight: Michaela Barbonente, Brooke Klosowitz, and Kaylee Walters, all named to Big Ten players you need to watch this season. You'll be able to catch them this weekend for the start of their season. On to men's swimming. Vincent Villanueva earns Big Ten Freshman of the Week. Honors with 3 individual events, wins across this past weekend's meets at West Virginia and George Washington. Then to track and field. We mentioned 2 of these names earlier, Handel Robin and Haley Kitching, breaking records both in the 800 meter. Kitching breaking her own Penn State mark. Robin's program record also the second all-time in NCAA. And freshman Bo Ritchie, with a time not too far off from her teammate for second in school history, earns her Big Ten Freshman of the Week. Congrats to this week's Dean's List honorees.
Thank you, Ryan. We're bringing PSU fans and alumni together with our Nittany Connect network at NittanyGameWeek.com. The goal is to partner businesses that support the show with our viewers and let them know about their great products and professional services. Make sure to check out NittanyGameWeek.com for previous episodes and interviews. All of our web exclusive content can be found at one convenient location, NittanyGameWeek.com.
And make sure you keep those pride picks coming. We received a bunch of them, Todd, from the Outdoor Hockey Weekend. Submit your picks when you're out at an event on our website.
Make sure to show us your spirit. For Ryan, I'm Todd. Thanks so much for watching Nittany Game Week. We'll see you next time.